think the amount of questions I get about how to improve my iPhone's battery life is like, I think it's top one without a doubt. And in this video I'm going to share with you some of the best things you need to turn off in order to save as much battery life as possible on your iPhone. I'm not kidding, these will change a lot. When you use at least a couple of them in combination, can really mean the difference between having your iPhone still available at the end of the day or not. Without further ado, let's dive into the video. So let's start with the first one. That is that I highly recommend you to turn on dark mode. If you go into settings, you can already see I have dark mode turned on, but if you haven't already, I highly recommend you to do this. Go to display and brightness, and in here, if you have light, you need to toggle on dark mode. Why is this useful? Because if you have an iPhone with an OLED display, the black pixels are actually turned off, thus saving you battery. When light mode is turned on, actually these pixels are on, thus consuming more battery. That's why you need to toggle on dark mode. It's also way more pleasant on the eyes, but that's another thing. Number two is to turn off certain apps that are running in the background. In order to do this, we have to go to settings, and in settings we have to go to general. In general, we go to a background app refresh right there. And in here, all these apps that are toggled on are actually running in the background. And there are probably some that you don't need to be running in the background. Let's say, for example, this one and this one. Go through that list and select the apps that don't need to run in the background. The next one is to do with Siri. Siri's constantly listening to you. If you're not using Siri that much, it might be useful to just turn it off. And you can do this by going to settings, and then we go to a Siri and search right there. You have this little section here, listen for Siri or Hey Siri. We click on that. You just can turn this off, and this will definitely save you a ton of battery, because now Siri isn't all the time listening to you or being on standby mode. Right, so the next one, we need to go to a settings, and in settings we have to go to mail. Mail is right there. We click on that, and now we go to our accounts. As you see, I have 6 here. In here we go to fetch new data, and that's now on push. That's fine. If we scroll down, you see here that fetch has been a default. It's on automatically. What this means is continuously your iPhone is searching for new emails, just consuming battery. So you can put this on manually if you want, which means that you need to go to the mail app yourself and then continuously refresh your email list in order to receive your latest emails. Or what you can do is you can put it on hourly or even every 30 minutes. Hourly seems alright for most people, I believe, but yeah, then your iPhone will search for emails every hour instead of automatically all the time.
If you want, you can get our exclusive wallpapers with the link in our description. People seem to really love them, as they have already been downloaded many times. Check them out, the link is in our description.
Right, so the next one is to do with the App Store. There are some new features that are really useful, but also consume a lot of battery when it comes to the App Store. So if we go to settings and then we go to App Store right there, you have this automatic download section, and as you can see, app updates automatically installs new app updates on your iPhone, which means it's continuously searching for app updates. So you want to toggle this off as well to save battery life. So I highly recommend to also turn off in-app content, because what this does is, let's say one of your apps is running in the background and there's a specific update or something needs to be downloaded, then this will be done automatically instead of when you open the app and then that happens. It has some advantages, but a big disadvantage is the fact that it's consuming more battery life because it's continuously searching for new updates and new downloadable content. So the next one has to do with tracking, especially for advertisers. I think something Meta was pretty upset about, but Apple implemented a new feature which forces apps to ask for tracking, and this is something people forget about often, that this is happening in the background. So we can turn this off by going to settings. In settings we go to privacy and security right there, and then we go to track. And as you can see here, all these apps are tracking me right now. What you can do is you can turn these off manually, just like that, if you don't want to have these apps track you, or you can just toggle this off in the top and then ask apps to stop tracking, and then all these apps will be toggled off, whatever your preference is. But but this also will save you a ton of battery life because it just stops from continuously tracking you in any of the apps. And lastly, this has to do with the iPhones that are supporting promotion. So promotion is amazing, but it also uses a lot of battery life. If you don't know what promotion basically is that your iPhone's refresh rate is 120 frames per second. So that's the speed of your display. Whereas in general, on default, it's 60 frames per second. I mean, everything runs smoother, but also your iPhone consumes way more battery life because it's active all the time on anything you do on your iPhone. Okay, so if we go into settings and then scroll down to accessibility right here, we have the motion section. And if we go in there, you have on the bottom limit frame rate. What this does, if you toggle this on, your screen's frame rate will be limited to 60 frames per second instead of 120 hertz. Apple calls that promotion. Your iPhone will run a little bit less smooth, but instead will save a significant portion of your battery. I mean, 120 frames per second is awesome, but if it's at the cost of your battery life, then of course you can turn it on. Then of course 60 frames per second is fine. All right guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope this will help you with saving a ton of battery life on your iPhone. If this was useful, of course, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon as well, and see you in the next one. Peace.